Welcome to Imaging Success with Jeff Rubinoff, Vice President here at the iRad Sales Group. Today, we're joined by Tony Orlando, President of iRad Sales Group and DexaPlus, bringing imaging solutions to traditional radiology and health optimization. Today, we're going to be talking about sales. Tony, let's get started and really get into sales. But what does that mean to you? What is if someone came to you and said sales, maybe that has a different meaning to different people. What does that mean to you?
It does. And I've been doing sales for many years. And you know what it means to me and the reason I love doing sales is I look for things that can actually help others. So for example, I've been working with DEXA equipment for many, many years. It's been going over 20 years. And there's such a need for it. I'm very impassioned on what DEXA can do to help people. And we coined the phrase three critical health markers that everybody should know. And that's your bone health, your fat, and the muscle. That's what comprises your body. And we feel that implementing DEXA is something that can really change the world. So I've been working with so many different facilities over the years, helping them to implement DEXA, not just for the business side of it and return on investment, which is very important, but really how that can affect and help their patients, and not only their patients, but their employees and even themselves. So when we started kind of with this journey many years ago, we noticed that a lot of doctors had their own health issues, many of which, when they were in their 40s and 50s, had heart attacks and strokes. And a lot of these diseases are highly preventable. And what we found is that by implementing DEXA, it allowed them to be very preventive and very proactive to help their patients avoid a lot of these things. So, it's been an amazing journey. I love it. I lead with the fact that the impact it can make on people's lives. And then the money does follow. We know the business component is very important. So it's something that gets me up out of bed every day, like excited. I love working with DEXA. It's an amazing piece of equipment. And our mission in life is to provide education awareness around everybody getting the DEXA scan and providing the opportunity where they have accessibility to not only just here in the US, but globally. And we did create a website called DexaScan.com that does that. It connects consumers, doesn't matter where you're at, to a DEXA provider where they can access this great technology. And not only that, that gives you the baseline of where we're at today, which in many cases is surprising and sometimes disturbing information. But we're also focusing now on the what to do after the DEXA scan to be very results driven. So it's just an amazing industry to be in. I love it. And the impact we have on our customers and their clients, it's just been an amazing journey.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you're referencing a lot of the benefit that you're bringing and being able to provide to these doctors and their business. How does, what I'm hearing out of this, from a sales, people have different ideas of selling. And your approach seems to be, you're talking about the practice and the staff at the practice. It's really helping people, versus, so, how would you say, what is your sales technique? As you go in and you meet with somebody for the first time,
Mhm.
what would your approach be?
Yeah, and it really starts with belief in what you do. To me, it just kind of drives me crazy that a salesperson could work for a company or sell a product that they truly don't believe in. To me, it's the belief. It's the belief in what we do. It's the belief in the product, and then we believe it can accomplish all these wonderful things. So it starts from there. And when I interact with a client, somebody that's considering DEXA for their practice or for their business, um, uh, for me, it's believing in that it can actually impact, it can help their practice financially, it can help them grow and do all these wonderful things. So we bring the whole package together with it. It's very comprehensive. So it's not transactional, it's not just about selling a machine. And unfortunately, with a lot of companies and a lot of sales reps, it's transactional. They sell a machine and they really, truly don't have the ability to help that customer implement. And there's times where a machine might go unused or lightly used, where there's very little benefit to anybody other than the sales rep making a commission off of it. So that's the last thing we want to happen. And we truly want our customers to benefit and get meaningful use from that machine. So we do walk them through. It starts with the technology. We explain the technology. We offer the very best. Like, we've partnered with a company, it's Hologic. They're the global leader in women's health imaging. So it's been a phenomenal partnership. They're very invested in the product, the technology, and how it impacts patients and consumers. So we have that great partnership. So it starts from there. So we can truly offer our customers the best technology. And then from there, it's how to implement it. Instead of just selling a piece of equipment, we show them programs and services and how they can implement into current offerings that they have, and show them how to build it, and then show them how to even do client acquisition at no charge. So there's a lot that goes into it. We take a very involved approach. I go to meet with my customers. Like, we work kind of like consultants without charging consulting fees. And the reason why we can do that is we want to make sure our customers are successful. We ride with their success. And really, a big part of the mission and objective we have is the fact that probably 90% of people out there don't know what a DEXA is and never had a DEXA scan done. And the bottom line with it is that everybody could benefit from getting a DEXA scan. And if you look at the bone health part of it, and unfortunately over the years, insurance reimbursement has come down for bone density. So what's happened is a lot of the primary care docs, OB/GYN docs, they're not offering the scan. So the accessibility to the consumer is very limited right now. And with cash-based medicine, that's been the game changer. So we want to make sure everybody knows what a DEXA scan is, why they should get it done, connect them with a provider that can offer all these wonderful services. And then the last piece of it is what to do after your DEXA scan. And the really cool thing is that people that have high body fat, high visceral fat, these things can be changed in a relatively short period of time with lifestyle changes. So it can really impact the lives of a lot of people out there, not just in the US, but globally.
And it's interesting because, as we think about, again, relating back to sales, and you're bringing so much value to the table for these guys. One of the things that you'd mentioned, having a piece of equipment that goes unused, or having a piece of equipment that they don't really understand the total value of, and then, the differentiation between cash-based medicine to insurance-based medicine. And we see it all the time, where you go into somebody's office and they're looking for a way to make money, and someone sells them a piece of equipment. You see it all the time, lasers, and it goes on and on and on, and they're just sitting collecting dust. Um, there's something missing, and you brought that up, where there's so much more to it, showing them the true value of, how to use equipment. Talk a little bit about that, because I'm looking at, this notion of, again, relationship building, changing lives. And do you have a story of, you've met someone for the first time, they want to start offering, some services. Do you have a story of how it's changed their lives, maybe their business, as well as their clients and their patients?
Yeah, it's really something that's on an ongoing basis. A lot of doctors, so we attend a lot of these age management conferences. And many of those doctors, had severe health problems when they were in insurance-based medicine. And unfortunately, insurance-based medicine is based on diagnosing and treating sick people that in many cases don't need to be sick. And what's happened over the years is a lot of these doctors are very stressed out. They work long hours, and they basically ignore their own personal health. So a lot of these guys we've worked with, and we've helped a lot of doctors transition from insurance-based medicine to cash-based medicine. And by implementing the DEXA, not only for the benefits of their patients, but we've helped them be very connected to DEXA, where they do it for their own personal use. And really, what needs to happen with people, because you can get very delusional. I've had times in my own personal health journey where I thought I was a certain percentage body fat, or that I was fit or whatever. And when you get on that DEXA scan for the first time, it's eye opening. So unless you're a disciplined athlete, or somebody that's really dialed into nutrition and workouts, as we become older, go into middle age and up, typically body fat's going to be over 30%. Visceral fat numbers, especially with middle-aged men, are going to be in that danger zone, which is indicator of type 2 diabetes and heart disease. So it's very eye-opening. So the first thing that has to happen, it's what happened with a lot of our customers, is they get that initial DEXA scan and they're like, holy shit, like I'm not what I thought I was. Or maybe they've been measured on a different device that showed them in a much lower percentage body fat. So it really starts with that. And then from there, what to do. And like I said, the really cool thing is, in a matter of 3 or 4 or 5 months, you can go from very high body fat, high visceral fat, when you're in their danger zone, to where you are a relatively lean and healthy person. So these changes can happen pretty quick. We had employees with the same situations. One of them was a younger guy. He was 31 years old. And the first DEXA scan he got, he was in the mid 30s for body fat. He had 4 pounds of visceral fat. And this is a guy that you'd look at him. He was about 6'4", 190, looked relatively lean, former college athlete. And at the age of 31 years old, had very high body fat and visceral fat that put him in the danger zone. So by implementing the DEXA, he dialed in his health and completely transformed his life. And there's so many stories like that. And that's what's so encouraging. But it all starts with the DEXA. In many of our customers, they scan every patient that they have, not just the ones that are at risk for bone health or osteoporosis, but they scan everybody. It's part of their ongoing health regimen. And that's the message that we want out there, that everybody needs to be scanned, and then what to do after that DEXA scan. So it's really empowering to see these transformations with people. It's very exciting to be part of that. It's a big challenge though, too. It's just not enough people know what a DEXA is. And that's really the word we're trying to get out there. And we're signing up providers, on an ongoing basis, where they're part of DexaScan.com. And then we're also focusing on what to do, promoting our customers as well, which is really cool. There's some tremendous age management practices out there, like Cenogenics, that was kind of the first to market, and they're actually global at this point. And then even a newer entity called Fountain Life, where they partner with Tony Robbins and Peter Diamandis, and they're doing the most cutting edge medical technology they're implementing. So there's a lot of things that are developing when it comes to medicine, and a lot of the focus is on prevention. And what we're starting to see is that people are starting to be more comfortable and more accepting of paying out of pocket to be well. Instead of paying to be sick, which is what insurance is based off of, people that have disposable income, they're willing to pay to be healthy and to optimize. And many of these people are going to live well into their 90s and maybe over 100, but they want to be healthy and live viable lifestyles. And really, honestly, it starts with the DEXA.
It's an amazing, thought, some of the things that you're bringing up here, and we started talking about sales, but really it's all about changing lives, and having a major impact on people, and so, I think that's, something that you're really referencing, very, very well, on how, you put it, think about the typical physician office. If you're selling a piece of equipment, the staff never, they're not tested on that equipment. It's not going to change their life. And here we're talking about, transformation of somebody, and it could be, it could change, well, it could keep them alive, makes them healthier. They're around for their kids. They're around for their family. And that's some of the things that I'm hearing, that you're talking about. Let's kind of do a wrap up. But if you were to, put one last final comment on what we're talking about and sales, what is something that you can leave people with in terms of, you know, what do you really love about selling?
Yeah, and really, it starts with the belief. Believe in what you're selling. If you don't believe in what you're selling, go do something else, because then it becomes strictly about money, and that doesn't work long term for anybody. So you really need to believe in what you sell, and you need to put the needs of your customer first. And I always think about that. It's never about me trying to get a sale to make a commission. It's about me trying to help our customers. And if you put that first and always put that first, then long term, you're going to succeed and do very well. And then along with that is, really putting together a plan to help them succeed. And part of that plan, because sometimes you can show people how to do sales and how to do marketing, and especially with doctors, I mean, that is not their expertise in most cases. They went to medical school, they work long hours. And so in some cases, you can show them sales strategies, you can show them marketing, you can show them a lot of different business strategies, but in many cases, they may not be able to execute. So having part of your plan to help them grow their business, basically pressing a button and driving new clients to their practice, helping them grow, and then getting engagement within their staff. I think that's really critical. We want everybody excited about this because every person in that office is an ambassador for that doctor's. Every person is an ambassador for DEXA. And if you get them excited and they have a scan and then they have their own transformation, they tell everybody. So it really is very organic and natural. And it's just a great way to work with people and help them build their business.
That's awesome. I really appreciate your time today. I think we learned a lot. I think people watching are going to take a lot out of this. So thank you very much, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys back here on Imaging Success. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.